Welcome to episode 3 on becoming her. Why smart, capable women still feel not enough. I want to talk to the woman who is wildly capable and somehow still feels behind. You know exactly who you are because I have worked with so many people that feel smart, they feel capable, but deep down inside, they don't feel enough. You may handle all the pressure, you deliver, you carry the weight that other people don't even see. You are the one person, the one trusted that people go to you for everything. And yet, at night, when it's time for you to lay your head on the pillow or just maybe take some time for yourself, the thought comes into your head as, I should be further by now. Further where? That's my question. You probably don't even know, right? But the feeling is there and you can't get rid of that feeling. You see someone else's promotion. Someone launches something that you want to launch, or maybe you thought of, or maybe you say, you know what? I wish I would have thought that. Someone writes a book that maybe you wanted to write a book and you said, I don't know how the hell I'm going to do this. I'm going to put this on the book on the shelf and I'll figure it out. Or maybe you say, I don't have the money to launch a book, that you have to have all this money. Or maybe you see someone that scales faster than you in your career, or maybe you in a personal level, and you feel that tightening in your chest, the worry, the fear. It's not jealousy. It might just feel the pressure. Or could it be jealousy? Like you feel like you missed a step. And here's what's so important, and I want you to listen up here. From the outside, you are completely exceeding, right? Everybody else sees you from the outside, you're succeeding. But inside, internally, you're measuring yourself against the standard that keeps moving. Why? Let me say something that just might sting a little bit. Most high achieving women are competing in a race that they never consciously chose. You didn't. You may not realize that you're constantly competing. So let me give you some coaching just for a moment. Who decided the timeline you're holding yourself to? And who said you should be at a certain level at your age right now? Who says? Who defined what enough looks like? Because when I ask women this question in my sessions, they stop and they pause. And then they're like, damn, Nancy, that was a good question. I didn't expect that. They don't actually know. The standard isn't theirs. What is it? It's inherited. It's from culture. It's from maybe coworkers, peers, family members, from social media, from the news, from the version of themselves that they created maybe 5 or 10 years ago. You cannot win a race you never intentionally choose to run. You can't. And right now, many executive women are running hard. They really are, without even checking if that finish line even matters to them anymore. And here's another pattern I see constantly. You accomplish something significant, right? Maybe you did a big presentation and maybe you had a difficult conversation that you handled really well. Maybe you had to speak at a speaking event. Maybe you had to have a tough conversation with your business partner or your boss or an executive. People tell you, oh my gosh, great job. And instead of feeling proud and grateful for someone noticing that you did a great job, what does this keep telling you? What does your mind keep telling you? Okay, great. What's next? Right? You totally disregarded all of that, all of your hard work. Of course you did. That wasn't perfect. It wasn't good enough for you. You kept replaying the one sentence you stumbled on in a presentation or conversation over and over and over. And the minute you stumbled, you're like, shit, okay, I just failed. I'm terrible. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Why did I even start this conversation? Why? Then guess what happens? You minimize that win. You move the bar to the next level. So let me coach you again for a minute. Your brain only registers gaps. It will never experience it. Like it only experiences the gap. It never experiences the arrival of what you feel at that moment. You've trained yourself to scan for what is missing instead of scanning what went well. That skill that I just did went so successful. I nailed it. I did such a phenomenal job. But also, you nearly said to yourself, that's impossible. I just did a great job. So here's really the practical shift I give my clients when they constantly run these things through their minds and through their head that I worked so hard and I just finished it and I instead of looking at your wins and celebrating your wins, you're focusing and nitpicking on what went wrong. And then you're going to find something. Like I always say, thoughts become things. We have the full control over our lives, how we live, what we say, the relationships we're in, the career we're in, the business that you own, everything. You can't say that I am the way I am because that was the way I was raised. I am the way I am because I worked for a previous company that just made me feel like shit. They didn't care. The culture was shitty. I am the way I am because I was in a bad relationship or a bad marriage. I am the way I am. It goes on and on and on, right? So here again is the practical shift that I give my clients. When you complete something, I just want you to pause for a moment before you just move on and ask yourself, what did that require of me? What did that require of me? Not, was it perfect? What did it require? The courage to do what you needed to do, the courage to put together a presentation, the courage to have a conversation that you dreaded. How about coming out of your comfort zone? It's courage, it's presentation, it's leadership, and it's emotional regulation. That emotional regulation is energy. The energy that you put into it is what you will receive back. So when you start measuring capability and capacity instead of the outcome, Your identity expands beyond the performance. And that's where real confidence lies. It lives there. Now, let's get a little bit deeper. Many smart, capable women were rewarded early in life before being responsible. You were mature, helpful, high performing. You learn that being good meant not being a burden. So your nervous system is wired itself around that belief. And I am secure when I perform well. You start to tell yourself these things. I'm secured when I perform well. But when you feel that you made a mistake, you feel that you didn't perform well, and then you're on the chopping block. And because that is where you feel the failure lies. And that wiring doesn't disappear when you become successful. It's always embedded in there. What does it do? It intensifies it because now the stakes are higher, right? The stakes are higher. There's more to lose, more visibility, more responsibility. So you raise your own bar before anyone else does. Why? Why do you have to go down that path? You expect composure when you're completely exhausted, and the clarity when you're overwhelmed. So the strength when you're really the strength when you haven't rested is what you're thinking. And if you fall short, you don't just correct yourself. What do? You beat yourself up. You criticize yourself till there's no tomorrow. And I'm going to go back to what I was saying earlier. When we feel that we made a mistake, or maybe we feel that you didn't do as well as you thought you would, you don't even pick out the wins. You don't pick out the good. You criticize yourself, and then you're picking out all the wrong, right? That's not discipline, guys. That's creating these stories in our heads that, and all this pressure and anxiety that you're creating on yourself. Why do you put yourself through that? Life is so precious. There's so much to life that, again, create things that are like master the simplest things, because you can have and do anything you want. And for my listeners that have been following me for a very long time, you will hear me repeatedly say that you can have and do anything you want, and you have full control of the will. End of story. So here's a question that makes more executive women sit back in their own chair, like I'm doing right now. If you stop achieving tomorrow, would you still feel valuable? Not productive, valuable. If that question makes you uncomfortable, guess what? You're not the only executive that feels that way. Because when worth has been tied to output, it's been tied to output for decades. The stillness feels threatening, right? It still feels threatening. Rest feels like regression. And that's why so many high achieving women don't actually enjoy downtime. Because they say to themselves, I don't have downtime. I have to make it perfect. If I don't do this, what's going to happen? Am I going to get fired? Are they going to look at me differently? Do they think then that I'm the right person for the role? Guess what you're doing? You're enduring more stress that will exist if you keep thinking of this over and over and over again. And then guess what you're doing? You're waiting to become productive again. So you just go through this vicious cycle over and over and over again. Again, why are you putting yourself through this? There's so much more in my coaching program that I get so granular in teaching you and coaching you and mentoring you for what I have gone through in corporate America in my 38 years in corporate America, what I've learned, where I made the mistake, where I've fallen and gotten back up. And make it so simple. And sometimes my clients scratch their heads and saying, that was too simple. Why? Why did I put myself through all of this? So here's the shift that makes this episode and all of my series of Becoming Her unforgivable. You are not here to prove your worth. You are here to express it. You are here for a purpose. You need to know your purpose and your why. Proving feels urgent. Expressing feels grounded. Proving says, let me show you I belong. Let me show you I am good enough. Let me show you I'm the right person for the role. Expressing says, guess what? I already do. That's confidence. That energy difference changes how you lead and how you speak. It is done. I am a freaking kick-ass leader. I am powerful. I know what I want. I have clarity. I'm confident. If I make a mistake, guess what? I learn from it and I move on. Let's go. How you rest, how you make decisions, that start small. Don't feel like you have to know everything to make a decision. The next time the not enough voice shows up in your head, because it will, don't argue with it. Don't shame yourself. I just want you to notice. Oh, and guess what? There's that old standard again that you're telling yourself. You are not the voice. You are the observer. That separates it so powerfully. Then take one more step. Instead of asking, what's next? Ask, what's significant for today? What matters today? What am I going to do different today? How am I going to show up different today? Don't micromanage yourself. Just be sufficient. That word alone can calm a nervous system, and overexhaustion. Is sufficient, is confidence. And I want to say this extremely clearly to all of you listening. You are not behind. Don't beat yourself up. You are carrying more complexity than most people will ever understand. So I want you to understand that. The pressure you feel is not because you are failing. It is because you have attached identity to performance for a very long time. Let me say that again. It's because you have attached the identity to performance for a very long time, and you are beginning to outgrow that attachment. Make the change. Start today. Again, this is not weakness. It's growth. It's becoming her. The woman who can achieve without chasing validation. The woman who can rest without earning it first. The woman who doesn't feel late because she's no longer racing anymore, guys. Ladies, you've got this. In the next episode, we're going to talk about something that often fuels this, fuels the not enough drive, the loneliness of being the strong one. Because isolation amplifies internal pressure. And for now, I want you to take a deep breath. You are not insufficient. You are not almost enough. You are not late. And you are a capable woman learning to separate who you are from what you produce. And that shift changes everything, ladies. It does. I hope this episode really resonated with you. If you need to listen, I covered a lot. If you need to listen to this episode again, please do so. Share it with another woman out there that needs to hear this. Share the love. You've got this. And always remember that you have full control of the will. With lots of loves and hugs, Nancy.